Morning! We're out of Prague now. We're in a little town called Ledice at the moment. We're here just a short stop to have a look at a memorial. So we'll be going down and having a look at that in a minute. So we're just down near the park, or in the park. The memorial's down here somewhere. We've got to locate it. We're running a little bit later than what we would have been doing. We couldn't get out of the camper van stop. The terminal was playing up to pay for the parking. So we were, I don't know, 30-40 minutes longer than what we would have normally have been. Don't know what that is. Something to do with a Rotary Club, I think. Anyway, we're here to have a look at this memorial. The memorial is for 82 children that were taken from Ledice as part of a Nazi extermination. They tried to totally destroy Ledice and kill everybody. And they took the children to Poland, a extermination camp in Poland, and they gassed them all there. The memorial itself is a statue. The woman that built it, she actually came up with the idea, I think, in 1969, and it took her. I think she died in the 1980s, and then I think it took a further 20 years or something like that for her husband to finish it. So apparently it's a resemblance, or a really good resemblance, of all 82 children. So that's what we're going to go and have a look at. Also, it's one of the most documented war crimes of World War II, apparently. Anyway, let's go and have a look. Okay, it says, here stood the first house in the original Ledice village, where Gestapo headquarters was set up to destroy the village. Wow. So whereas we went to the one in France, and they've left, where they just burnt it, here there's nothing. It's just this park now. There is the new town of Ledice. I mean, so Ledice hasn't disappeared. However, this is the this is the original village of what's left of it. What we've come to see is this over here, this memorial. I don't know why they had to totally destroy the village. I don't know what the reason is behind it, and I'm struggling to find out what that was, and I can't get in the museum to find out. Oh, is it? Yeah, museum's up. So there might be somebody to ask in there. But this memorial is supposed to be really fantastically made. It's supposed to be the likenesses and the heights and everything of the kids, so it's supposed to look like them. All the heights are correct. Wow. Don't want to walk on the mud to read what it says, but let's have a look. There you go. It says 82 children of Ledice gassed by the Nazis in 1942 in memory of the millions of children who perished in the Second World War. Look at that. Very sad. Look, some of them are bare feet, some of them got shoes. Can't read that plaque. No, that plaque's written all in Czech. I suppose it just goes to show you what a set of bastards they were. I mean, they didn't just kill me, I bet they just took the children away first and then let them have it, I suppose. Very sad. And this is all that's left of the village. We've just translated this here, which is just beneath this cross here, and it says, "To the citizens of Ledice, victims of the German fascist invaders, from the Red Army soldiers, sergeants and officers of the unit of the hero of the Soviet Union, Colonel Pankov. To the citizens of Ledice, victims of the German fascist occupants, from..." Oh, it's the same thing written in a different language.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you have to remember that the Czech Republic was given to the Russians. I suppose a nice touch at the time, but I think the people began to hate them not long after the occupation started. Pardon? Oh, right. Oh, is it? Okay, let's have a look. What's that one say? It says 173 of Ledice men still rest here after their execution by German Nazis on the 10th of June 1942. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh dear. And it just says Ledice woman with rose.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What's that?
It says, "We will never forget the fate of the 60 Ledice women who died between the years of 1942 and 1945. Their tragic deaths occurred in front of Nazi German firing squads in Prague, Koblicki, and on death marches. The remainder perished in the concentration camps of Lublin, Auschwitz and Ravensbrück." Wow.
No, there is.
Wow.
There is no here. Church?
Yeah, this was a family and a farm that lived here. I think that's pretty much all that's left of anything. Just a bit of restoration work going on. We weren't actually going to spend a lot of time here at the park. We did just originally come to have a look at that sculpture, but we think it's worthy of a little bit of a walk and a little bit of a look through the park. Very quiet place. And something else. No birds.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing at all. And we had that in France when we went round the village there.
There was nothing, was there?
There was nothing. There was no birds. It was a very like a deathly, haunting type place, which is very similar to this.
Yeah.
Oh, a bird. We'll have a look at. Oh, this is to do with the First World War, I think. So I think these are the people that would have died here from the village. For the eternal memory of those who sacrificed their lives for the happiness of their families, for freedom, for their homeland in 1914, 1918. This is the church. Apparently the priest Joseph, I think they call him, he was buried with 142 men, which I think is over there where we've just come from. But this is the what was the church, and the altar down there. Not going to walk on it. We'll walk on the wall sections of it, but I'm not going to walk on the grassed area. It just doesn't seem right somehow. What's that? All right. There's where the altar was. I mean, that's obviously something that's to show you where the altar was.
And the shape of the church.
Yeah.
He was buried with his people.
Hmm.
Was that killed the whole time, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, quick look at that one. And
Up there.
And then back.
Yeah, we're just going to go and have a look up there, and then that'll be it then. Although this was the village, whatever it was on there, this is where the original cemetery was, and that was destroyed in 1942 as well. So I presume they've found where a lot of the graves are, and then they're just it's like this. The actual other cemetery, the proper cemetery now, is the other side of that wall, but this was the original cemetery. Christine's taking photographs of mushrooms, I think. Cheers. Yeah. Well, I can't even believe that he even destroyed the cemetery. I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, I saw specifically trying to wipe people off the face of the earth as if they never existed. No, and it's not just about getting rid of them, it was trying to wipe them off the face of history. Yeah. Covered in fucking mud now. Excuse language there. There's nothing in here that to help us. because it's all written in Czech. But we'll look anyway. I think it's more to do with that must have been the village and what it looked like, possibly. Wow, man, it's gorgeous here in the summer. Look at it in the summer with the roses. Yeah, it's more about history in general, I think, than actually the town itself. Okay, we found this bit of information out. Sorry if you can look it out. And it's more to do with all this sort of thing here. And it says the initiative to establish a rose garden originated in England, where the idea was put forward by the Ledice Will Live Association, chaired by Sir Bernard Stross, a member of the British Parliament. On June the 10th, 1954, the garden was established in June 1955 under the name Garden of Peace and Friendship.
Wow, looks like quite a big town.
Yeah.
In 1918, when Czechoslovakia was founded, there were 500 people living in Ledice. The new republic, under its popular first president, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, enjoyed unprecedented prosperity. But when Hitler came to power in Germany, tensions also rose in the Czech borderlands, a mainly German-speaking Sudetenland. These culminated in the notorious Munich Agreement of September 1938. The main European powers agreed to let Hitler annex almost the entire border area. It was not long before the rest of the country was occupied. In September 1941, Reinhard Heydrich, one of the most powerful figures of the Third Reich, was appointed to rule the occupied Czech lands. His assassination just months later by Czechs parachuted from London came as a major setback to Hitler at a time when he still seemed invulnerable. The Nazis trumped up claims that the inhabitants of Ledice had been involved in the assassination, and the destruction of the village was a brutal and arbitrary act of revenge on the civilian Czech population. Any other village in occupied Bohemia and Moravia could have been picked out.
For the books.
It's a big pig.
auf den stellvertretenden Reichsdirektor SS-Obergruppenführer Heinrich in den Vormittagsstunden des 27. Mai 1942 in Prag wird die Bevölkerung zur weiteren ernsthaften und sachlichen Mitarbeit aufgefordert. Es kann jeder, auch von dem einen für unbedeutend gehaltene Umstand, für die Polizei von Wichtigkeit sein. Achtung, Achtung! Wer kennt
Hinweise dafür gefunden, dass
Okay, we've just been and had a look round inside one of the things, and Reinhard Heydrich, who was in charge in Czechoslovakia of turning Czechoslovakia, or Germanising it, shall we say, he was assassinated, and the assassination was to it was reparations for that assassination that was ordered by Hitler, and they just completely destroyed it. There's a film on there. We've not really got time though. It's going to be on screen.
Keep within ourselves throughout our lifetime. Czechoslovakia of that period was one of the most advanced countries in Europe and a symbol of freedom and democracy for the whole world. Germany was embarking on a road that would soon become to the unsuspecting world a threat impossible to stop. At that time, many honest Germans could still voice their disapproval. Later on, it was too late.
Des deutschen Volkes. Wenn wir selbst, dieses deutsche Volk, hervorführen durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigene Entschlossenheit, eigenen Trotz, eigene Arbeit.
A cruel and human ideology was set in motion. Austria was the first stopover. It's either us or them. Home into the Reich was the Sudeten Germans' war cry in those days. September the 23rd, 1938, Czechoslovakia declared general mobilization. We shall defend our republic, and if need be, we shall become soldiers, was the general feeling of the day. The fate of Czechoslovakia was being decided on in Munich. The four powers involved would not even consider inviting her representative to attend the talks. The decision was reached on September the 29th, much to the participating statemen's satisfaction. On September the 30th, 1938, the government of Czechoslovakia was forced to accept the Munich Agreement. Within less than 5 months, German troops goose-stepped into Prague, starting 6 years of occupation. Hitler himself set foot on the pavement of Prague Castle, accompanied by Reinhard Heydrich, the man who in 2 years' time would rule supreme over Bohemia and Moravia. More fateful events were not long in waiting. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. And the Nazis launched their planned big-scale operation for the extermination of the Jews. Saw Germany's expansion continued. Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium were all occupied. France was invaded and part of her territory occupied too. For the time being, the German European campaign came to a halt here in France, within sight of the shores of England. From then on, the British had to fight bitterly to defend their own existence. September the 27th, 1941. The post of acting Reichsprotector was assumed by SS Obergruppenführer Reinhard Heydrich, who immediately declared martial law in an effort to break the Czech people's resistance by any means. The worst period of the German occupation had set in. An end to Heydrich's raging was put by Czechoslovak parachutists Jan Kubiš and Josef Garčík. A reward of 10 million crowns was set up on their heads. Whoever will offer shelter or assistance to persons involved in the assassination or fail to inform the authorities about such persons or their whereabouts known to him or her will be shot dead with their family. Signed, K.H. Frank on behalf of the Reichsprotector. And Frank it was who stepped up the oppression and atrocities against the Czech people. Ledice, a village of 500 inhabitants, 104 houses, a church and a school, one of the many communities of the industrial Kladno region. As the inhabitants of this village, through their activities and support for the murderers of SS Obergruppenführer Reinhard Heydrich, have committed the grossest offense against the laws in force, all adult men over 15 will be shot dead. Women will be transported to a concentration camp. The children will be taken away for proper upbringing. The village will be burnt out and razed to the ground. Its name will be wiped off the map for all times. June the 10th, 1942, 173 Ledice men were executed. By accident and a Gestapo frame-up, Ledice became the scene of an act of German intimidation and revenge. True to their notorious consistency, the Germans put another 19 men and 7 women of Ledice before the firing squad in Prague-Kobylisi on June the 16th, 1942. Ledice was destroyed precisely as planned. Everything was arranged so as to leave no doubts about the kind of consistency that would go into the liquidation of the whole nation. Then the day came when the world said enough. The tide began to turn with the Battle of Stalingrad. A powerful Allied offensive all along the front brought the first victories that would ultimately lead to fascist Germany's unconditional surrender. That meant the end of the dream of world supremacy. Places of suffering and horrors, intended as places of no return, for those who had survived to remain marked for the rest of their lives. But it was the end of the war. What a beautiful ring those words must have had for people all over the world. Moments of unspeakable joy, and time to return had arrived. Out of the 203 imprisoned women of Ledice, only 143 returned home. Out of their 105 children, a mere 17 had survived. Speaking at Ledice on June the 10th, 1945, President Beneš of Czechoslovakia had this to say. Ledice and its experience are a horrifying picture of German Nazi culture and the German Nazi system of the Second World War period. The Ledice crime calls to the whole world, not perhaps for revenge, so much as for strict justice. Saboto in Italy, Katyn in Bielorussia, Kragujevac in Yugoslavia, Oradour in France, Distomore in Greece. Similar towns, similar villages, similar destiny. Not only here at Ledice, but at every moment of our life, we ought to be forever aware of the absurdity of violence, the violence that arises from any uncontrolled power. Freedom and humanity are the values that deserve our lifelong endeavor. This is the site of the last steps of the men of Ledice. "340 citizens of Ledice were put to death."
I thought that was really interesting. What I didn't know is, apart from like here, I can't remember what the one in France is, sur le Glan or something, I think. There's more than that in other countries, in Greece and I think somewhere else, they said. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Very interesting. Sad. We've come into the woods. We're just north of Melnik, and we've come to have a look at these that are carved in the rock. So they're like caves and such like faces. Yeah. So it's obviously a soft stone. How cool are they? And then there's a cave around here as well. There's a cave, it's a place where you can sit, and somebody's put like a tile there. They're not as old as what you think these are. These were carved in 1840, between 1840 and 1845. So I'd say it's more of an art form than what would have been a way of life for people. We found another. I think there's quite a lot of them that are carved in these rocks, but because it's winter time and you have to go off the trail to find them. But, there's another one. Mind, the rocks in these woods are very random, very strange. Anyway, we're looking for another carving. Seems there's some caves and such like dug out here. Some people have had a bloody big fire, which is beyond stupidity. For tracks, look, thing there, different animals. Not so sure on the one from the second from the right. So I don't, not really sure. Let's have a loop round this side. That's no, don't see anything in it at all. No, just a cave, that's all. Look at that one, it's a snake, and if you look above it, it's like a hatchet, and then the snake's cut in two at the bottom, look. If you could see that. It's different. There's another one that somebody's coloured in. I'm not going to try and climb up there. I'll finish up flat on my face in the mud.
Wow.
Like a pharaoh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite clever.
Good that.
Yeah.